Chosen one, no more sleepless nights, divine provision activated. You have reached the turning point, the moment where the torment of uncertainty is being replaced with divine certainty. What used to keep you up at night, those thoughts that circled your mind, those fears that crept in when no one else could see, are being dissolved in the light of God's provision. There is a new frequency surrounding you now, one that is being woven into your spirit like a warm, protective covering. You are no longer wrestling with the weight of how or when, because now something higher has taken over, and that higher power has declared peace over your mind and provision over your path. If you're watching this right now or listening to these words, I want you to make a powerful move. Stay with me until the end of this video, because something is shifting in your spirit. And as a sign of your agreement with this divine truth, write your warmest, most heartfelt wish in the comments below, and type 99 in the comments as well. This is a chapter where wishes come true. This is the moment the universe is energized by your faith, and heaven is responding with favor. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. There is a deep transformation happening within you, and you can feel it. Even though your outside reality hasn't caught up just yet, you're no longer vibrating at the same level of fear. You're not in survival mode anymore. You're stepping into a state of supernatural trust. You're resting now, not because everything is perfect, but because you finally realize you are not walking alone. You are being carried by something divine. Your dreams are not being ignored. Your prayers are not floating into a void. Everything you've released into the spiritual realm is being received and activated. The sleepless nights that drained your soul are coming to an end, not because the circumstances suddenly disappeared, but because your trust has finally unlocked the supply you were always meant to live in. You've cried in silence more times than you can count. You've had those moments where the weight felt unbearable, and you wondered if breakthrough would ever come. But what you didn't know was that every single tear was watering the soil of your future. Every moment of exhaustion was forming the blueprint for the abundance now heading your way. Divine provision is not something that waits for a perfect moment. It shows up when your spirit has reached the point of readiness. And guess what, chosen one? You're ready now. Ready to receive. Ready to be relieved. Ready to sleep in peace and wake up with joy. The nights that once held you hostage are now bowing down to the light that's rising in you. The provision coming your way isn't just financial. It's emotional. It's spiritual, it's mental, it's relational. Everything you lost is being replaced, not with replicas, but with divine upgrades. You are about to be surrounded by things and people that nourish you, not deplete you. The lack that once echoed in your environment is being filled with divine supply. You will not go without. You will not be overlooked. You will not be forgotten. There is a force moving in your favor that has already gone ahead of you and is arranging the exact resources you need. You may not see it with your eyes yet, but your spirit knows. Your intuition is giving you glimpses. The peace you're beginning to feel, that strange calm in the middle of chaos, is not a coincidence. It's confirmation. You are no longer alone in this. And that's what divine provision does. It moves in silence. It prepares the table before the feast arrives. It anchors your heart before the evidence shows up. It whispers to your soul before the outside world catches on. The nights where you stared at the ceiling wondering how you'd make it through are now being replaced with dreams of a future that's finally safe to believe in. You don't have to hustle for this. You don't have to convince anyone. What's coming for you doesn't require negotiation. It's already yours. And the only thing that was ever needed was your trust. Now that trust is active, and trust opens doors no human effort could ever force open. You're walking into a season where you will no longer have to chase. Things will begin to flow toward you, not because of luck, but because of alignment. You've aligned your faith. You've aligned your heart. You've aligned your vision, and the universe is responding. The divine economy works differently. It doesn't rely on market trends or job security or approval from others. It flows based on belief. It moves through unseen corridors, delivering supernatural supply to those who dare to let go of control and step into divine rest. And this rest is not laziness. It's sacred. It's strategic. It's powerful. Divine rest is the boldest faith of all, because it dares to believe that while you sleep, God is still working. While you rest, angels are still moving. While you dream, provision is being placed in position. You are not wasting time when you stop worrying. You are inviting miracles. You are not being lazy when you trust. You are making space for destiny to unfold without resistance. And that is what's happening now. The resistance in your life is breaking. The friction is fading. The heaviness is lifting. You are no longer in a season of strain. You are entering a season of flow. You've paid the price in pain. You've earned your peace. And now peace will be your guide. Peace will lead you to people who see you. Peace will connect you to provision that surprises you. Peace will point you to opportunities you didn't even ask for. Your energy is shifting. And when your energy shifts, your reality follows. You are attracting what aligns with this new version of you. A version that no longer tolerates fear, no longer bows to pressure, and no longer loses sleep over things outside of your control. That version of you is now fully alive. And it's powerful. So powerful that the gates of divine provision are opening on your behalf. You're not imagining the signs. You're not crazy for holding on to hope when everything looked dark. You're not wrong for still believing something incredible is coming your way. Because it is. You are being rewarded for your endurance. There's a reason you couldn't give up, even when you wanted to. There's a reason your spirit kept whispering, "Hold on," even when your body was tired. That reason is divine assignment. That reason is divine assistance. And now, the delivery of that assistance has begun. The days ahead of you are full of answers, full of clarity, full of relief. You are no longer going to sleep with questions and wake up with burdens. You are going to rest deeply because you trust deeply. You are going to rise each morning feeling stronger, lighter, and more equipped for the greatness already being stirred within you. The nights of tossing and turning are over. The stress that used to steal your sleep is losing its grip. Because divine provision has stepped in, and once heaven steps in, there is no going back. You are not the same person who once worried themselves to exhaustion. You are wiser now, more centered, more grounded, more in tune with what truly matters. And what matters is this: you are taken care of. You are backed by divine intelligence. You are guided by a force that never fails. The resources you need, the money, the support, the breakthrough, it's all coming. But more than that, you are being transformed. Because you've realized that peace is the real miracle. And you've got it now. And with that peace comes provision. Because the two are always connected. What's unfolding in your life right now is far bigger than you imagined. The sleepless nights you endured were never for nothing. They were a sign that your soul was in a sacred process of transformation. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. And the preparation felt heavy because the blessing is weighty. You're not receiving something ordinary, chosen one. You're being trusted with something divine. That's why the shaking was so intense. That's why the nights felt endless. You were being positioned for supernatural delivery. And now, it's here. You may not realize it, but everything around you is responding to your internal shift. What you used to tolerate now feels uncomfortable. What you used to fear no longer has the same power. You're not restless anymore because something has clicked within you. You've stepped into divine agreement with the truth of who you are and whose you are. And in that agreement, provision flows. Not trickles, not crumbs, overflow. Supply that pours out in such abundance that it not only meets your needs, it heals your memories. You're not just receiving money or support, you're receiving restoration. Divine provision goes beyond resources. It touches your mind, your heart, your energy, your future. You're being renewed on a level that even you can't fully explain yet. But you feel it. You feel it in the calm that follows a stormy season. You feel it in the ease that begins to replace the effort. You feel it in the clarity that starts breaking through confusion. Divine provision is like that. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It doesn't show off. It shows up. Quietly, faithfully, powerfully. And now that it's here, your job is simple. Receive it. Don't block it by questioning your worth. Don't shrink when the blessings feel too good. Don't second guess when doors open suddenly. This is not a mistake. This is not random. This is a divine decision. The universe is delivering what your soul has been vibrating for. God is placing before you the answers you've been praying for. You're not disqualified because you were once afraid. You're not denied because you doubted in the dark. You are still chosen, still covered, still qualified. You no longer need to explain yourself to anyone. The days of trying to prove your value are over. Your provision will speak for you. Your peace will speak for you. Your glow, your elevation, your quiet confidence, all of it is proof that something divine is unfolding in your life. You don't need to argue anymore. You don't need to overthink. The results will be visible. The favor on your life will be undeniable. Those who overlooked you will be stunned by your rise. But this isn't about them. This is about you, finally walking in the fullness of what has always been yours. This provision is not conditional. It's not limited by your past. It's not waiting on perfect behavior. It's flowing because you said yes to growth. You said yes to alignment. You chose healing even when pain felt familiar. You chose surrender even when fear told you to control everything. That choice is why your season has shifted. And now, your nights are no longer tormented. They're tranquil. Your mind isn't racing with worry. It's resting in assurance. You have reached the place where divine supply begins to meet you before the need even arises. You'll start to notice the difference in the way things show up. A bill that used to cause panic will be covered before it's due. An opportunity that seemed impossible will suddenly be presented to you. A relationship that drained you will be replaced by one that nourishes you. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The stress cycle is being broken. The lack pattern is being shattered. You are stepping into a divine flow, and everything that is meant for you is gliding toward you with grace. And it will feel like magic at times. It will feel surreal, but it's real. It's just that you've lived in survival for so long, abundance feels unfamiliar. Don't sabotage the softness that's now coming into your life. Don't push away the peace that's trying to stay. You've had enough nights of gripping the pillow tight, wondering when the breakthrough would come. Now, let the pillow hold your head in comfort, knowing the breakthrough is already unfolding. Let yourself relax. Let yourself enjoy. The war is over. The provision has arrived. You're being reminded that you are not behind. You're right on time. The delay wasn't denial, it was divine design. The sleepless nights taught you how to hear the still, small voice within. The nights alone taught you the strength of your own soul. And now those very lessons are the foundation on which your blessings are being built. Nothing was wasted. Not a single restless night. Not a single tear. All of it was a sacred setup for the life you're about to live. And the best part? You don't have to go back. You don't have to return to anxiety. You don't have to return to scarcity. You've outgrown that frequency. You're now vibrating on the level of trust, and that level attracts miracles. That level brings divine alignment. That level opens doors that stress could never unlock. Let this new rhythm become your norm. Let peace become your home. Let provision become your new expectation. You deserve to sleep peacefully. You deserve to wake up refreshed. You deserve to live in a constant flow of supernatural supply. There is more coming, much more. And none of it depends on force. It's all about flow. Stay aligned. Stay trusting. Stay open. You're not waiting on the provision. It's waiting on your full receiving. And now that you've released the worry, the flow can fully begin. There are days coming where your heart will be so full of gratitude. You'll cry tears of joy, where you'll look back and whisper, "I'm so glad I didn't give up." And that whisper will be your victory song. Now that you've entered the realm of divine provision, chosen one, everything is shifting, even the unseen details. What used to drain your energy is being dissolved. What once demanded your constant attention and effort is being handled by forces beyond your understanding. There's a new order settling into your life, and this time it doesn't come with anxiety, overthinking, or struggle. It comes with certainty, with softness, with strength wrapped in stillness. The nights where you begged the heavens for an answer have been heard, and now the response is unfolding, not in a loud announcement, but in the quiet stability that's starting to return to your days. You are being sustained in places where you used to suffer. There is healing happening so subtly, you may not even recognize it at first. But suddenly you'll notice that what once triggered you no longer holds the same power. Suddenly you'll realize that the panic doesn't come like it used to. That peace enters your room faster than fear ever did. That clarity shows up quicker than confusion. That is the effect of divine provision. It doesn't only supply needs, it corrects atmospheres. It doesn't only meet you where you are, it elevates where you're standing. The universe has assigned miracles to your name, and these miracles know exactly where to find you. They are not delayed, they are timed. Timed for your benefit. Timed for your maturity. Timed for your protection. You're not being made to wait because you are forgotten. You are being prepared so that when it arrived, you could keep it. So that when it arrived, you wouldn't push it away. So that when it arrived, you would embrace it fully, knowing that it's real, it's right, and it's yours. There's nothing more divine than peace. Not just peace of mind, but peace in your energy, peace in your decisions, peace in your sleep. That kind of peace isn't found by doing more, stressing more, or planning more. That kind of peace is activated when you finally believe you are held. When you finally surrender the idea that you have to carry everything on your own. And you've done that now. You've laid down the mental weight. You've decided to live in trust. And that decision is unlocking a divine rhythm you were always meant to live in. You've noticed how the energy around you is shifting, because you are shifting. And when you shift, everything else has to respond. The people around you, the opportunities, even the thoughts that once weighed you down. They no longer have access to your new frequency. You are too anchored now. You've seen too much, grown too much, overcome too much to return to a life where lack and anxiety run the show. That chapter is closed. You're not auditioning for peace anymore. You've been given the starring role in your own abundant story. And it's only just beginning. Divine provision doesn't always show up with bells and whistles. Sometimes it shows up as rest when you used to worry. Sometimes it shows up as a cancellation of a plan that was never meant for you. Sometimes it shows up as someone exiting your life, so your hands are free to receive someone better. It's all provision. It's all part of the flow. And now that you've surrendered your sleepless nights, you're in position to receive every form of provision, both the obvious and the disguised. You'll wake up soon to messages of breakthrough. Opportunities will call your name without you chasing them. Payments will land where you didn't expect them. Support will appear in faces you never imagined. Why? Because divine supply is precise. It knows your name, it knows your timeline, and it knows how to show up when your guard is finally down and your hands are finally open. You are now in full reception mode. And in this mode, you won't be grasping for blessings, they'll find you. You're no longer begging for answers in the night. Now you're receiving clarity in the quiet. You're no longer tossing and turning in mental loops. Now you're dreaming forward. You're no longer asking, why me? You're saying, thank you. You're walking with a steady confidence that only comes from being divinely backed. You've crossed over, and there's no going back to the patterns of lack and the habits of doubt. You've been rewired to expect supply, to expect provision, to expect peace, and people will notice. They'll notice your calm before they understand your blessing. They'll see your glow before they know your story. But you won't need to explain, because your life will say it all. The way things align, the way things flow, the way opportunities come without stress. That is the sign that divine provision has taken over. That is the evidence that heaven has stepped in. Provision doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means everything is supported. Even your imperfections are held in grace. Even your moments of weakness are met with strength. You are not failing when you rest. You are not irresponsible when you stop overthinking. You are faithful. You are surrendered. You are in alignment. And alignment is what activates overflow. Let this be the season where your default is peace, where your first response is faith, where your rest becomes a weapon. No more sleepless nights, not because everything is figured out, but because you've figured out one thing: you're covered. You've seen enough of life to know when something sacred is happening. And this is sacred. This is holy ground. You're in a divine moment, and that moment will stretch into days, then into weeks, then into a lifestyle of abundance, of calm, of confidence. You will look back and realize that this was the shift, that this moment, when you stopped stressing, when you finally exhaled, when you released what was never yours to carry, this was the pivot. The point where everything began to align. And from here on out, that alignment will not stop. The right people, the right funds, the right ideas, the right open doors, they're all in motion, heading your way. Stay open, stay expectant. You're not in survival anymore. You're in supply. You're not who you used to be, and the evidence is all around you. The way your energy holds steady in the middle of the unknown, the way your heart feels safe even when the next step hasn't been revealed. That's growth. That's divine transformation. That's the result of choosing faith over fear, rest over anxiety, and alignment over hustle. The sleepless nights that once plagued you have lost their grip, not because the world around you became quieter, but because your inner world became louder with peace. And that peace, chosen one, is your new power. You've started to notice something rare. Things are getting easier. You're not forcing connections. You're not striving to be seen. You're not chasing provision. You're becoming it. You are no longer in a position where you feel desperate for answers, because answers are now meeting you without a struggle. This is what divine provision does. It creates an atmosphere where needs are anticipated, not just met. It brings the right people at the right time with the right spirit. It brings rest to your body, ease to your mind, and wealth to your path. The battles you've won in silence have changed the frequency of your life. You carry a vibration now that no longer matches chaos. And because of that, chaos cannot cling to you anymore. People who once brought confusion are now being removed without explanation. Opportunities that were misaligned are dissolving. Doors you once cried over are closing for your protection. And yet, you feel no panic. You feel no dread. That's the shift. That's divine provision in action, removing the wrong so you can receive the right. You've grown beyond explaining your peace. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your newfound calm. You're no longer accessible to low vibrational fears. The truth is, you've learned how to surrender, truly surrender. Not the kind of surrender that feels like giving up, but the kind that feels like leveling up. That holy kind of surrender where you know you've done your part and now it's heaven's turn to do the rest. You've let go of the illusion that you must solve everything. You've embraced the truth that solutions already exist, and they are being directed to you now. The stress of how has left your life. You are no longer burdened by timelines or deadlines. You are now in divine time, and in divine time, nothing is rushed. Nothing is delayed. Everything is right on schedule, even the detours, especially the detours. What felt like setbacks were setups. What seemed like loss was actually redirection. What hurt you pushed you toward healing. What broke you positioned you to be rebuilt stronger. This new version of you, the one who sleeps peacefully and trusts fully, is the version who receives divine provision on autopilot. Yes, autopilot. That's the level you've entered, where doors open without knocking, where your name is mentioned in rooms you didn't even know existed, where your needs are handled before you have to worry. That's not fantasy, it's favor. It's the reward for the nights you kept going, the days you held on to hope, the moments you refused to let the darkness win. You've earned this grace. You've aligned for this favor. You've qualified for this overflow. Now, let this overflow redefine what normal looks like for you. Let abundance become your default. Let support become expected, not questioned. Let divine help be your norm, not your last resort. There's no badge of honor in suffering anymore. You've suffered enough. You've struggled enough. Now, you're in the season of sacred ease. And that ease is not weak. It's wildly powerful. It's the energy of someone who knows they're supported by the unseen, who knows the heavens are working while they rest, who knows that provision doesn't require panic. You're in the flow now, and in this flow, you're protected from manipulation. You're guarded from misalignment. The things that once fooled you no longer even interest you. Your spirit has been sharpened. You see through the noise. You feel the truth. You're guided by something deeper than logic now. And that guidance is divine. That's why you don't feel the need to over-explain. That's why you don't lose sleep over uncertainty. You are no longer guessing. You're being guided. And the more you trust, the more you receive. That's the key. Not force, not fight, not frantic action. Trust. Let your faith be the faucet through which all things flow. The moment you believe it's already handled, it is. The moment you surrender the worry, answers show up. The moment you decide to live in peace, life bends to match that peace. That's the beauty of divine alignment. You no longer chase, it comes to you. You'll begin to notice how much lighter your days feel, not because the world around you is perfect, but because your inner world has been fortified. Your heart is no longer tossed by fear. Your mind no longer entertains every worst-case scenario. You've outgrown that level. You've stepped into the space where fear may knock, but it can't enter. Where doubt may whisper, but it's drowned out by your faith. And in that space, provision thrives. Provision lives where peace is present. And now that peace is your new normal, provision has made your life its permanent residence. It's not visiting. It's not dropping by for a miracle moment. It's settling in. It's making itself at home. It's anchoring into your reality. This is the start of a life where supernatural becomes natural, where miracles become momentum, where overflow becomes ordinary. And this version of you, the peaceful, rested, confident version, is the magnet for every single thing you've ever dreamed of. You're not too late. You haven't missed anything. What's meant for you is being rerouted, accelerated, and customized to meet you at your highest level of readiness. And you are ready now. You are ready to sleep without stress. You are ready to live without fear. You are ready to receive without resistance. The world may not understand how you made it through what you did, but you know You know it was divine. You know it wasn't luck. You know you were carried. And now you know this next chapter isn't about survival, it's about stability. It's about stillness. It's about supernatural supply meeting you before the need even arises. And once you start living this way, there's no turning back. Now you're living in a reality that once only existed in your spirit. A realm where stress no longer dominates your days, where fear no longer disrupts your nights. Chosen one, you've entered the life of divine security, not because your circumstances changed overnight, but because you changed. And that inner shift has sent signals to the entire universe. A divine frequency has been activated within you, and everything that is meant for you is now responding to that frequency. The sleepless nights didn't end because of external validation. They ended because of inner revelation. You now know you're held, and nothing is more powerful than that knowing. This isn't about pretending everything's perfect. It's about finally living from the truth that even if everything around you isn't perfect, you are perfectly supported. There is a supernatural system working for you now. You don't have to see it to trust it. You don't have to understand every detail to rest in it. You just have to know it's real. And if you're sleeping peacefully again, if you're waking up without that heaviness, it's because your soul has agreed with this truth. I am fully backed by the divine. I am no longer in lack. I am no longer alone. That agreement changed your atmosphere. You are now walking in a grace that repels confusion, that repels unnecessary struggle. You're not available for chaos anymore. You're no longer accessible to panic, to toxic connections, to thoughts that sabotage your future. You've risen above the static. You've been elevated to a space where clarity is natural and peace is expected. This elevation isn't just spiritual, it's practical. It's showing up in your health, your conversations, your finances, your relationships. Everything is aligning because you are aligned. And when you are aligned, provision rushes in, not just to meet your needs, but to establish your new reality. You're not just being blessed to survive, you're being positioned to thrive, to build from overflow, to create from clarity, to lead from love, not from fear. What's coming to you now isn't just enough, it's more than enough. Enough to rest without worry, enough to give without fear, enough to dream bigger than you ever dared before. Chosen one, God decided, supernatural help has arrived. Right now, something beyond your imagination is unfolding behind the scenes. The divine has spoken, and the moment has come for your story to take a radical turn. This isn't coincidence, it's divine orchestration. Supernatural help has been deployed on your behalf, and what once seemed impossible is now inevitable. In the blink of an eye, everything can shift. Your timeline has been rewritten with favor, grace, and breakthrough power. This is not just motivation, this is revelation. A prophetic reminder that your delay was not denial, but divine preparation. If you're watching this, it means you're meant to receive this word today. And watch until the very end, because each word carries the energy to awaken your spirit. Also, go ahead and write your warmest wishes and the number 99 in the comments. This is how we align our energy with the universe. This is how we say, I'm ready. I'm available. I receive now, chosen one. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. The supernatural has a pattern. It rarely announces itself with loud fanfare. Instead, it arrives quietly but powerfully, making moves in the background until everything aligns. The financial blockages, they're dissolving. The emotional heaviness, it's lifting. The people who were meant to help but never did, they're being replaced by divine agents. Heaven is now involved in your earthly affairs. The ones who overlooked you will have to watch as divine help catapults you forward. You have been upgraded in realms that your eyes have not yet seen. God decided it, And what God decides, no one can undo. Chosen one, your name has been discussed in places your feet haven't yet stepped into. In rooms where decisions are made. In hearts that feel divinely nudged to bless you. You see, supernatural help doesn't always come with lightning and thunder. It might come through a stranger's favor, a contract you didn't expect, a door that opens without you even knocking. When divine timing meets divine intention, nothing can stay blocked. The stagnation you've been feeling, that was never your final destination. It was only a setup for the magnitude of what's coming next. Many times the delay is heaven organizing what no human hand could orchestrate. There were things being shifted, hearts being softened, minds being changed, all to make room for what's being delivered to you now. You weren't forgotten. You were being refined, prepared, and positioned. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And now, the delivery has been signed and sealed. Supernatural assistance in areas where you struggled most. Divine answers in matters that kept you awake at night. You don't need to force the next breakthrough. It's already in motion. What you must understand is this. Supernatural help is not limited by human timelines. It's not constrained by what others think is possible. It doesn't need permission. It only requires alignment. And you're in alignment now. All the tears you cried, all the nights you stayed up wondering if it was ever going to change, heaven recorded them. And now heaven is responding. You're not entering a new season. You're entering a new system, governed not by chance, but by divine coordination. A system where grace overrides struggle and provision overtakes lack. Even now, the Spirit is working on people you don't know, placing your name in their thoughts, prompting them to open doors for you, assigning them to assist you, and giving them dreams and urges that lead straight to you. The supernatural help that's arriving isn't vague or abstract. It's personal, specific, and custom designed for your life path. It knows your needs. It sees your heart. It recognizes your endurance. It knows how long you've waited without giving up. There is a suddenness to what's coming. And when it hits, it will make sense why nothing else worked before. Why certain people walked away. Why the things you tried to build collapsed. It's because they were built without this level of support. But now you're building with divine help. Now you're walking with supernatural strategy. And this time it will stand. This time it will prosper. This time it will flow with ease. You've been through enough training, enough testing, enough spiritual warfare. The chapter has shifted, and the new one opens with these words. Supernatural help has arrived. Say it out loud. Let your soul catch it. Because this is no longer just hope. It's happening. It's real. It's confirmed. And it's active in your life. You are no longer praying from a place of begging. You're declaring from a place of receiving. The heavens are partnering with you. Not because you earned it, but because God decided it was your time. And when God makes a decision, no opposition stands a chance. This help comes with authority. It comes with acceleration. It comes with power. It doesn't need a meeting to be approved. It's already done. Right now, timelines are collapsing in your favor. Delays are turning into sudden advances. Unexpected approvals are being released. Hidden resources are being uncovered. What you thought would take years is arriving in days. The divine has bent the rules of time for you, and the results will look like miracles. But to God, it's just justice. It's the return for every seed you planted in faith. Every moment you chose belief over doubt. Every step you took, even when you didn't see the way. And here's what makes this moment even more powerful. It doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning of supernatural intervention in your life. One blessing will lead to another. One connection will spark another. One miracle will unlock a stream of miracles. You've entered a new cycle, a supernatural one. From this moment forward, you're walking under divine coverage. You're no longer operating on your own strength. You are co-creating with heaven itself. And that partnership is unbreakable. You don't have to chase anymore. You don't have to beg. You don't have to push so hard. The struggle season has expired, and in its place is a divine orchestration of events that will feel like you're being carried. That's the difference when God gets involved. It's not harder, it's smoother. It's not distant, it's immediate. You are not waiting for help. Help is already here, and chosen one. This help didn't arrive to temporarily fix things. It came to shift everything from the root. The patterns that repeated, broken. The cycles of near success and sabotage, ended. The confusion and cloudiness, replaced with clarity and boldness. You will know what to do next. You will know where to go. You will know who to trust. Because now, divine intelligence is moving with you. You are divinely guided, divinely resourced, divinely protected. There's no more need for fear, no more stress over the how. That was the old version of you. The new version moves in faith, flows in peace, and receives with confidence. You are not being denied, you're being delivered, and what's coming will prove it. Supernatural help isn't just an event. It's a lifestyle you've now entered. The veil has lifted, the support has landed, and your elevation is inevitable. You're no longer in the dark, wondering if anyone is coming to help. That season is behind you. You're stepping into clarity now, into confidence. Supernatural help has arrived not to comfort your past, but to launch your future. And not just any future. A future that is brighter, richer, fuller than what you thought was possible. This is the reward for holding on when everything told you to give up. This is the divine answer to every silent tear, every moment you chose faith, even when fear screamed louder. Chosen one. You're not imagining the shift. What you feel is real. That weight lifting off your shoulders, that's supernatural assistance making itself known. That inner knowing that something good is about to happen, that's divine confirmation. The help you've prayed for is here, but it's not here to blend in. It's here to take over. Things are about to move so quickly, you won't have time to second guess. Doors will swing open before you even ask. Opportunities will arise that don't make logical sense, but they will be perfectly aligned. Because heaven doesn't operate on logic, it operates on purpose. There are certain doors that only supernatural help can open. These doors aren't made of wood or steel. They're made of energy, alignment, and divine timing. And now, those doors are unlocking for you. Not because you chased after them, but because your soul matched their frequency. This is what supernatural favor feels like. Effortless flow, divine acceleration, and undeniable outcomes. For so long, you've been in a season where you had to fight for every inch. You've had to explain your vision, defend your calling, and carry burdens that weren't even yours. But this help that's arrived, it's not just lifting burdens, it's removing them. It's dismantling systems that kept you small. It's untying knots that kept you stuck. It's untangling you from old energies that no longer serve your destiny. You're not being rescued, you're being positioned. And now, the stage is set. The preparation season is complete. The spotlight of divine recognition is finding you. Not because you craved it, but because your heart was pure. You gave when no one was watching. You served when no one thanked you. You believed when there was no sign. And now the supernatural is rewarding your unseen efforts. Quiet victories are turning into loud blessings. Hidden seeds are sprouting into visible harvests. This isn't just about finances. This is about alignment in every area of your life. Supernatural help means you'll wake up one day and realize the struggle is over. The confusion is gone. The resistance is missing. You'll look around and see things working out for you without force. Relationships will feel easy. Ideas will come freely. Money will circulate consistently. Why? Because divine flow has replaced human effort. You've shifted from force to favor. Don't be surprised when you start hearing from people who once ignored you, when past rejections turn into new offers, when enemies are silenced without you lifting a finger. This is the fruit of divine intervention. This is what happens when God makes a decision about your destiny and sends backup from realms unseen. You're no longer fighting alone. Angelic support is walking with you. Divine timing is speaking on your behalf. And the forces that tried to stop you are now retreating. For some of you, this help will come in the form of a mentor, a divine connection, or a life-altering message that ignites something in you. For others, it will come through a new opportunity that seems too good to be true, but is backed by heaven itself. Don't second-guess it. Don't sabotage it with disbelief. Trust it. Flow with it. It's not too good to be true. It's just supernatural. And because this help is divine in nature, it's not temporary. It won't expire. It won't tease you and disappear. It's not here today and gone tomorrow. This is not a test. It's a turning point. What begins now will continue to unfold, layer by layer, lifting you higher each time. You're stepping into a momentum that sustains itself, a flow that multiplies itself, a rhythm where divine speed becomes your new normal. Supernatural help doesn't just elevate you. It changes your atmosphere. It alters the way you think, the way you move, and the way others respond to you. Don't be shocked when people start treating you differently, when favor finds you in places where you were once invisible. That's the mark of divine help. It shifts how the world perceives you, because it already shifted how heaven sees you. Even now, divine protection is clearing the path ahead of you. Things you didn't even know were trying to block you have been removed. Conversations you didn't hear were interrupted. Plots against you have been dismantled. You were shielded from battles you never knew existed. That's what supernatural help does. It defends you in silence and delivers you in power. Chosen one, this isn't the time to shrink. This is the time to rise. You're not waiting on a miracle. You've become the miracle. Your life is the testimony. Your journey is the proof. People will look at you and say, "There's no way that happened unless God got involved." And they'll be right. You are entering a chapter of your life that will make people question how it's even possible. And all you'll be able to say is, God decided. The struggle you went through wasn't for nothing. It was training. It was setup. It was the weightlifting for the blessing you're about to carry. And because you didn't break, you're now qualified to lead, to shine, to prosper. You won't be overwhelmed by the blessing because the process built your strength. You won't mishandle the favor because the journey shaped your humility. You're ready now, more ready than you think. The supernatural help that's arrived is not just for survival, it's for strategy. God isn't just helping you live, He's helping you lead. You're being given clarity for decisions, discernment for relationships, and vision for the future. You're not just surviving anymore, you're about to thrive. You're about to overflow. You can feel it in your spirit. You can sense the shift. Don't ignore it. Don't downplay it. This isn't hype. This is heaven. This isn't wishful thinking. This is divine movement. Every cell in your body can feel that something new has entered your life. And it's supernatural. And it's here to stay. You've reached a threshold, and there is no going back to the old version of your life. The universe has shifted. The atmosphere has changed. There is something different in the air surrounding you now. That heaviness that used to follow you is lifting. That resistance that clung to every step you took is being pulled away. You are no longer surrounded by obstacles. You're surrounded by breakthroughs waiting to reveal themselves. And here's the truth. Not everyone will understand what's happening to you. They may not see the hand of God over your journey, but you will feel it. You'll feel it in how things that once took months now happen overnight. You'll feel it in the silence that no longer feels empty but peaceful, full of answers. You'll feel it in the way your spirit responds to people and situations, how quickly you're now able to sense alignment or misalignment. That's not just maturity. That's divine awareness. That's supernatural guidance flowing in you, around you, and through you. Supernatural help isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a deep inner knowing. Sometimes it's the perfect word at the perfect time. Other times, it's someone showing up with exactly what you need and no explanation as to how they knew. You're entering a chapter where divine synchronicities will be normal. Don't brush them off. Don't call them coincidence. Call them what they are. Evidence that heaven is moving on your behalf. You're no longer being asked to hustle and strive like before. Now you're being called to align and receive. Your effort has already opened the door. Your obedience has already set things in motion. All that's left is for you to step forward with trust. Don't let the old voice of doubt sabotage the new path of divine support. That voice is fading. Let it go. The only voice that matters now is the one whispering, "You are supported. You are covered. You are chosen." And chosen one, that supernatural help didn't come just to bring blessings. It came to establish dominion. You are now walking with a spiritual authority that breaks generational cycles. You are now moving in a favor that reverses past losses. You are now breathing in a new reality, where everything that felt hard begins to soften. You're no longer forcing your life to change. You're watching it respond to your presence. This shift you're in will leave traces of divine fingerprints on everything you touch. Ideas will start flowing. Creativity will awaken. Solutions will appear without you having to overthink. Conversations will feel divinely directed. And in all of it, you'll sense a rhythm, an ease. That's how you know it's not you forcing things. It's God flowing through you. The places that once rejected you will seek you out. The doors that were slammed shut will reappear, but this time, you'll walk through them with supernatural confidence. The things you used to pray for are about to chase you. You no longer need to beg for help. Help is now assigned to follow you. It's assigned to fight for you, to uplift you, to multiply what you've already started. People won't understand how things turned around for you so quickly. And they don't need to. Because what's happening is not for applause, it's for fulfillment. You've been chosen not just to succeed, but to fulfill a calling, to walk in purpose, to radiate divine power. You are being positioned not just for your gain, but to be a vessel of light, of guidance, of hope. And the supernatural help you've received is part of that divine assignment. You've shifted from being in survival mode to being in supernatural flow. Things will now move at the speed of purpose, not pressure. You'll no longer measure your progress by what others are doing. You'll move by divine timing, trusting that what's meant for you is already moving toward you. And it is. Right now, without delay. Even in moments of uncertainty, supernatural help will whisper direction into your soul. When you don't know what to do, clarity will drop like lightning. When you feel unprepared, doors will open and provision will meet you. You'll begin to expect miracles, not as rare events, but as natural outcomes of your alignment. This is your new normal. Supernatural help also comes with divine intelligence. You'll begin to understand things you've never studied. You'll start sensing things before they happen. Your intuition will sharpen. Your dreams will carry messages. Your inner voice will become louder and clearer, and it will guide you out of the noise and straight into peace. That's the supernatural intelligence of God at work in you. Don't be surprised when people begin to treat you differently, not because you've changed your outer world, but because your inner world has elevated. Supernatural help alters your frequency, and others will either align with it or fall away. Don't chase what leaves. It was never meant to stay on this level. What remains will be divinely chosen, and what enters will be divinely sent. You are not late. You are right on time. You are not behind. You are ahead in a realm that doesn't operate on human clocks. The help you've received is not seasonal. It's structural. It's rebuilding the foundation of your life with divine strength. The things that once broke you will now bounce off of you. The things that once stressed you will now submit to you. Because you have changed. Because your spirit has expanded. You're walking into rooms with new energy. You're speaking with new authority. You're making decisions with boldness you didn't have before. That's not ego. It's empowerment. And it's supernatural. You'll no longer hesitate when the opportunity shows up. You'll recognize it. You'll own it. Because your soul knows this was sent from above. The more you trust, the faster it flows. The more you let go of control, the more control you'll realize you have through divine alignment. This isn't magic. It's manifestation backed by heaven. And you, chosen one, are the recipient of that miraculous flow. You've crossed the line. There's no more waiting on the sidelines of your own life. You've been activated. You've been marked. You've been sent. And supernatural help has shown up not just to walk with you, but to go ahead of you. The path is clearing. The way is becoming visible. The timing is aligning. You're not lost. You're being led. And that leading is precise. The kind of help you're receiving isn't generalized. It's tailor-made for your situation. It knows the details you've never spoken out loud. It understands the pressures you've carried in silence. It saw the exact moments when you almost gave up, but didn't. That's why it's here. That's why now. Because the divine saw your endurance and decided, you've waited long enough. You're entering a season where doors won't just open. They'll remain open. This time, you won't have to run after them before they close. Supernatural help holds them open until you arrive. That's the grace on your life now. And the rooms you'll enter, they won't just welcome you, they'll honor you. Because when God sends help, He sends favor with it. And favor doesn't just allow you access, it prepares the space for your greatness. Don't underestimate the small signs. That sudden peace you feel, that's supernatural. That unexpected message that lifted your spirit, that's divine timing. That conversation that turned everything around, that wasn't random. It was God's orchestration. You're living in a realm now where every detail is touched by the divine. Everything is working together. Not just some things, everything. Even the challenges that still show up are different now. Because now, you face them with backup. You face them with clarity. You face them with confidence that wasn't there before. This is what supernatural support looks like. It changes your posture. You no longer panic. You prophesy. You no longer fear. You flow. And the flow is real. It's tangible. You'll feel yourself doing things you once hesitated to do. You'll notice boldness in your words, in your actions, in your energy. That's not arrogance. It's assurance. It's spiritual authority waking up inside you. Because you've realized that it was never about being ready in the world's eyes. You were always ready in heaven's eyes. The system has shifted in your favor. Resources are being redirected to you. People are being nudged by divine prompts to think of you, reach out to you, bless you. This isn't manipulation. This is manifestation with power behind it. The kind of help that pulls you out of old cycles and places you into divine momentum. You're being equipped to do more with less stress, to have more with less noise, to lead more with less effort. Because divine support multiplies what you carry. You are no longer alone in the building process. What used to feel like climbing uphill now feels like being carried by a wind. That's the wind of heaven. That's the force behind your elevation. And your elevation will not be hidden. It will be evident. Not for vanity's sake, but as a testimony to the power of the divine in your life. The people who doubted you, they'll see the shift. The ones who mocked your process, they'll witness your progress. And the best part? You won't even need to explain, because your results will speak. You're not being promoted by people. You're being promoted by purpose. And purpose never misses its mark. It never loses momentum. When supernatural help is involved, the path isn't just opened, it's prepared. Every stone is moved. Every mountain is flattened. Every detail is considered. That's why you'll feel so at peace moving forward, because your steps are already blessed. This isn't just another level. It's a new dimension. A realm of divine downloads, rapid fulfillment, and effortless success. Not because life is suddenly easy, but because grace is now guiding your every move. You are operating under a divine covering that protects, provides, and promotes. And that covering is permanent. You're about to notice how fast things begin to align. Prayers will be answered quickly. Delays will break suddenly. Things that were once impossible will become normal. That's the fruit of supernatural acceleration. That's what happens when you're no longer doing it alone. This help is from God. And God doesn't assist halfway. He finishes what He starts. You are being backed by power beyond what you can see. And that power is working through everything. Your connections, your finances, your dreams, your timing. Even in places where you feel like nothing is happening, trust that everything is being positioned. Your name is being spoken in the right ears. Your story is being written in light. Your future is being secured in strength. What once seemed like a random waiting period was actually a runway. You weren't delayed. You were being prepared for supernatural launch. And now, it's time to soar. Not crawl, not walk, soar. You've been equipped with everything you need. You have divine assistance behind every step. You have spiritual supply ahead of every need. And you have supernatural momentum pushing you into greatness. From this point forward, everything shifts. Not because you changed everything, but because God decided. And when heaven makes a decision in your favor, the earth has no choice but to obey. Get ready for alignment, for ease, for overflow. Supernatural help has arrived, and it's here to stay. There's a new atmosphere surrounding you, and it's not something you imagined. It's something you're walking in now. It's tangible. It's real. The old energy has been swept away, and in its place stands a calm, commanding presence. A sense of divine backup so strong that it silences doubt before it can even speak. You've entered into a realm where your faith is no longer just belief. It's evidence. Where the unseen is just as real as what you can touch, and the impossible is simply the starting point for divine execution. You're not at the mercy of circumstances anymore. Supernatural help has removed you from the rule of randomness and planted you firmly in a cycle of purpose. This is the season where things will start happening for you. Not because of your hustle, but because of your alignment. You've shifted from striving to receiving, from confusion to clarity, from delay to delivery. And now that divine help is guiding the way, your path forward is not just clearer, it's brighter. Those old mindsets that told you you had to earn everything through hardship are dissolving. Yes, you've put in the effort. Yes, you've shown the endurance. But now you're being rewarded by grace, and grace moves differently. Grace doesn't need credentials. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't ask for validation. It sees your spirit. It sees your scars. And it says, let's go. You're ready. And you are. You're more ready than you realize. You've been prepared in silence, refined in obscurity, strengthened through every unseen battle. While others were being promoted in front of crowds, you were being promoted in the spirit. And now that promotion is manifesting. It's becoming visible. The supernatural help that has arrived is making sure of it. It's aligning events, people, resources, and timing with divine precision. Not a moment too soon, not a second too late. Everything is happening exactly as it should. You're going to notice that the pressure you once felt to control every detail is disappearing. That's because you no longer need to be the architect of every outcome. The divine has taken over that role. Your job now is obedience, flow, trust, and walk with boldness. You've been positioned not as a beggar of blessings, but as a co-creator with the heavens. That's what supernatural help does. It turns you from seeker to sender, from struggler to steward. You're going to find yourself in situations where you don't have all the qualifications, but the door still opens. That's supernatural favor. You'll see people who once overlooked you now drawn to your presence. That's divine reversal. You'll experience breakthroughs in areas that were once bound tight by resistance. That's supernatural force unlocking what once refused to budge. And you won't need to push, just show up. There's a rhythm to your life now, a divine cadence. You don't have to match the world's pace anymore. You move to the sound of heaven, and that rhythm isn't rushed. It's rooted. It's rich. It's real. It keeps you grounded even while you're soaring. That's what sets you apart. That's why the supernatural help that has arrived will never leave you confused again. Because now you're moving with clarity, not chaos. With peace, not panic.